Hello and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Millie and I love any makeup, especially shiny, shifty, and sparkly eyeshadows. And today I'm going to be talking about the worst purchases so far or makeup that I've tried so far in 2021. And I have a video where I talked about the top 10 makeup products that I purchased so far in 2021 that I really enjoyed. So this list was actually easier to make, I would say, because apparently I've tried a lot of crappy makeup. And if you've been on my channel, I don't really talk about like face-based products really often. I really mostly talk about eyeshadows, but there's going to be some face products for sure, especially face products. I think it's like a nice half and half. My best 10 purchases video had mostly eyeshadows, and these are in no particular order. I'm just going down the list. So first up we have the Good Apple Balm Foundation from KVD. I got sucked into it. I knew this was not going to work on me because stick foundations and anything kind of like sort of this product doesn't tend to work on me. I got the shade Light 004. This does have coverage. However, I've tried to put it on with a little bit of a lighter hand and going in with a sponge and just slightly going on, and then you don't get as much coverage that way. But the thing is, you can definitely easily put on too much and it will just not look good. It looks really nice when you first put it on, I'll give it that. But I tried setting it, I tried different powders, I tried different primers. This will just slide off my face. It's not like literally will not slide off obviously, but like if I'm touching it after like an hour or two, it will just like completely swipe off, no matter if I'm setting it or not. I really don't think that this is oily skin friendly, and if you have oily skin and you were able to make this work, then that's amazing. But I tried setting it and it didn't help whatsoever. It just looks like it sits on top of your skin, and it's just definitely not a product for me. And I had a feeling, but I got sucked into the hype of TikTok, and you know, it got viral and everyone wanted to try it. So I was like, oh, who knows, maybe I'll be surprised. So since we're on the topic of foundation, I actually have two other foundations to talk about. This next one is the Huda Beauty No Filter Foundation, or Faux Filter Luminous Matte. And this is the new formula that they released this year. I got the shade Panna Cotta. I think it was a pretty decent shade for me. However, this again, like, it pretty much it doesn't dry down fully matte, but it was pretty it looked like a mask on me basically. It was very, very full coverage, and definitely need to like bronze up and contour up because it just like got rid of everything and my face looked completely just like solid. I just personally don't really prefer that type of look for me. I really am like lighter coverage, dewy, and this is supposed to be, from like the way they advertised it, a little bit more like luminous and not like fully matte, which it definitely isn't fully matte. I would say like satin. But this was just not it. And also it did this weird thing on my chin, which I have been having issues with this other foundation I'm also going to be talking about, where it just like speckles like on my chin. It's really weird. I don't really know how to explain it. I'll try to insert a photo if I can find it, but it just does this really weird textural thing after like an hour or two, where it just like doesn't, like, my pores almost like don't want this on my face anymore. So next up we have the Natasha Denona Foundation X Plus. And this one I actually got on sale, so I'm not too mad about it. As you know, Natasha Denona is a little bit on the higher end side. And I got the shade 10Y Fair. I think the shade was fine. This one, kind of same thing. I have oily skin, and I know people who with like dry skin like this, and I just don't understand how, because this is literally like plaster on my face. And drying, like when I would take this off, my skin felt really dry. And then also it did that really weird textural thing on the bottom on my chin again. But this one was way worse. The way that this did this, I have to find a picture, or maybe I'll just wear it so I can show you the picture of this, because it was such a weird thing and it just did not work for me. I could not make it work. Just going in with a lighter hand or anything is just not the formula for me. So that was definitely a regret. And then we have a most recent purchase. This one is just a shade fail pretty much. And this is the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Shaping Stick in Light. It's literally orange. This is not a contour. This is orange, and I'll insert a swatch here. I just don't understand who approved this shade. It reminds me of the, what is it called? The Soul Body like bronzing balm that I have in light. It's like pretty much the same. It's actually even more orangey, but this is just so awful. Just I had my hopes up. I did try a blush stick from Makeup by Mario, and I really love that one. So it was really unfortunate. I was excited to see if I could also use the stick contour, but clearly not. It's not even a bronzer. Like it won't even work on me as a bronzer. It's just huge no. If you're my skin tone, do not waste your money on it. Okay, next up, we pretty much have left eyeshadows, and there's one product that I don't have anymore, so I will just pop it up on the screen and I'll talk about it now, and that's the Benefit Magnetic Mascara or something like that. I just got a little sucked into the hype again. Clearly that this is like a trend so far in 2021. I get sucked into these trends, but it did not hold a curl for me, and it just got all over my under eyes. It gave me major raccoon eyes. I really just need to stick to waterproof mascaras because nothing else seems to work for me. And even when I would just use them when I'm putting on makeup, so like when I do a look for YouTube, I don't need a waterproof mascara on, so I would just kind of try to use it up, but it was awful. It would be literally within like 20 to 30 minutes, it would start wearing down underneath, like right here under my eyes, and it was a mess. I hate that mascara. It is so not worth the money. All right, let's get into the eyeshadows. First up, unfortunately, I was really excited for this palette, and this is the Carla Cosmetics Summer Amazing palette. If you saw my video, I really loved the shimmers in here. The mattes are just not good. I will put up a picture because I've actually switched out the mattes in here for my sugar pill. So like, look how beautiful that looks. Okay, first of all, look how beautiful it looks with the sugar pill mattes. The shimmers are just absolutely spectacular in here. They're very fragile though, but the mattes had like a really weird texture. You couldn't even see some of the shades on my skin tone with like a white eye primer. So that was a major fail, and I know I have way better formulated pastels in my collection, so this is such a miss for me. Unfortunately, I really love the shimmers in here. Like if they could just like sell the shimmers separately, that would be great, because I do not recommend this palette whatsoever. Okay, so next up we have more eyeshadows. Let's talk about some liquid multi-chromes. We actually have quite a bit of multi-chromes to talk about, sadly. But these are the Glitch liquid multi-chromes from Lethal Cosmetics. I bought 4 shades, and now I just really wish I had only bought like 2, one of each. So I have one that is like kind of like a really black base kind of multi-chrome, and then these other 3 are more like, they're not like iridescent, they're a little bit sheerer, but they have a little bit of color to them. And I did a video, and the 3 shades that are not the black base multi-chromes, those were really well on me actually. However, they're just like so sheer and you cannot build them up, and they're kind of textured. Like I forget which shade, I think it was a purple shade, looked kind of textured on the lid. I was just really not a fan of these. And then the shade Entropy right here, which is like a black base multi-chrome, it basically disintegrated on my lid. It just completely flaked off onto my under eyes within like an hour or 2. I don't remember from the video, but it was not good at all. These are pretty expensive. These are, I mean, they have more than the Natasha Denona in terms of like the amount of product you get, but those are so much better, and I just think that I would actually prefer to buy those than these, even though there's less product, but just that formula is much better. And yeah, it's such a shame because I really love Lethal Cosmetics. I have like almost all of their matte eyeshadows. I have their most recent collaboration with the Teresa, and I love that palette. Very unfortunate that they are here, but I would personally buy with caution. Maybe if they're on sale, you want to just try them out, but it's really not something that I'm looking to purchase from them if they do end up releasing more shades. And somebody on their like Instagram team, whoever is like on their Instagram responding to DMs and stuff, they did reach out to me and tell me that they didn't have that issue with the multi-chromes when they wore them, but that they also wear them over the Lethal Cosmetics gel liner and that they have no issues. So I tried it over the gel liner. It definitely was a little bit better. But it's like, I don't want to have to buy your gel liner or just have to put on a gel liner to wear a liquid multi-chrome. Like at that point, I'm just going to go and use a powder multi-chrome and just slap on some glitter primer to make sure that it's, you know, has a great wear time. But otherwise, like, I just felt like that's a little bit much. I'm just not really about those kind of products that only work when you have to use them like under a full moon, in the middle of autumn, and it's just like, you know, it's too much work. And on that note, let's talk about more liquid multi-chromes. These are the Twin Flame multi-chromes from Vanessa Myricks. I was so excited for these. I was so excited to see another more mainstream but still indie brand coming out with more liquid multi-chromes. And these are definitely like really beautiful shades, like especially Forever. This shade, I need to like look for a dupe for this because it is a really beautiful shade. And then like they have really nice one. And then also Soulmate is like such a unique shade. I will put up some swatches up on the screen. And then they do have their, basically these are like kind of like the black base type of multi-chrome, so they're a little bit darker. First of all, these are not even shiny. These are pretty much like kind of like more of a satin finish on the lid. They're not very shiny like the like Cliona multi-chromes, for example. And then these are really, really beautiful. However, they can look so chunky on the lid. You cannot build these up. They flake off. They were just so bad, and I was so upset because they are a little bit on the expensive side. They're like $24 a pop, which is, you know, it's less than Natasha Denona, but it's still like a decent amount for a liquid multi-chrome. But also when you buy these, you have to make sure you're using them like pretty frequently within like 6 months to a year, because they're going to dry out. They're liquid. They're just like anything else that's in a tube. They're going to dry out. So I'm really sad about these. And so buy these with caution. Next up, let's see, we've got, these are the Carla Cosmetics holographic multi-chrome loose eyeshadows. I bought all the shades. I don't want to talk about it. They don't have them anymore. I don't know if they've discontinued them completely because people aren't happy with them, or if they just ran out and they don't have them in stock currently at the time that I'm filming this, or what's going on. I also saw Chaos Makeup is releasing something like this, which probably is most likely the same thing, but I don't support that brand, so I'm not buying from that brand. And these were like 20 something dollars a pop for this tiny little thing. It doesn't say how much product is supposed to be in here. It's probably at least like 1.5 grams or 2 grams. So when I got these and I swatched these, they did kind of warn me that they can look gray in certain lighting, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, I'll keep that in mind. And so I swatched them and I could kind of see it looking gray, you know. So basically in direct sunlight or like direct light, like a flashlight or something that's just like really like a fierce kind of light that hits it, you will bring out the hollow effect. Out of the direct sunlight is when you can see the multi-chrome effect more, because direct sunlight does completely wash out a multi-chrome. Basically, like you will just see one shade, you will not be able to see the shift. It might look like sparkly, but you won't really be able to see the shift. The shift really requires like multiple like types of lights to be hitting your lid at different angles. And so in that way, it could be really cool, because then you get like kind of like 2 types of eyeshadows in one, and it's like kind of the best kind of eyeshadows, which is like hollow and multi-chrome. However, when I put these on the lid, they're pretty much gray. It's really hard to see even the multi-chrome, even the color. They just look very gray. And even in the direct sunlight, they were just not anything near the beautiful hollow that you would get with the Glam Shop hollow eyeshadows. So unfortunately, these are complete dud. I never ended up filming with these. And then I just, you know, I was like, oh, maybe I should finally film with these, and then they don't have them anymore. So I'm wondering if they're not going to be restocking them at all, because maybe people didn't like the gray effect of them. And then let's talk about, lastly, we have Luxie eyeshadows. I did buy, what was that like newest bundle? I can't remember what it was called. I did a dedicated video. I will link it down in the description box, and I will show you some footage from it as well, because, and I'm just talking about the specific eyeshadows in here, and one of them was this one, which I was really excited about, and this is called Dark Side of the Moon. And this just looks absolutely nothing like the photo on their website. And this is kind of what they've been known for. The reason that I feel like it's partially they get away with it is because these eyeshadows are so cheap. So people don't care as much. But the thing is, if I'm looking at something and you're advertising it a certain way, I don't care how much it is. I want the thing that you're advertising. I'm not trying to buy some sheer type of multi-chrome that like doesn't look anything like even like color wise, it doesn't even look like your swatch photo. And also they just really like haven't been posting. They've been like really just dropping a random ass collection here and there and then just disappearing. And as far as I know, they're not also replying to comments. There's also been a lot of angry customers because they get these, products and they don't look the same. And, some of the shades are really beautiful either way. So it's kind of like, okay. But at the end of the day, I would not recommend it. I would say just, instead of spending like $6 on 2 shadows, like spend it somewhere else. Like, I think there's so many other great indie brands that are active, that are showing lots of swatches, that have beautiful, high quality eyeshadows at a great price, such as Davina, for example. So those are all the things that I purchased so far in 2021 that were a total miss for me. Let me know in the comments below what kind of products you purchased that you really did not like so far in 2021. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, I would love it if you subscribe. There's so much indie makeup content affording my channel and much more to come. You don't want to miss out. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.